it reads, the diagram below shows carpenter K, brim B, and chisense or chisens C, right? Fishing camps on Lake Manzi. B is 20 kilometers due east of K. BC is close to 16 kilometers and KC is close to 30.4 kilometers. Right. So, what is the given question? Calculate angle KBC to the nearest degree, 5 marks. Right. So, KBC, they are referring to this angle, right? Let me indicate it. This is KBC, right? So I would like to find that angle to the nearest degree, right? So whenever you encounter a situation whereby you are given a triangle with all the 3 sides given and known, you make use of cosine rule, right? So what you need to do is each and every side is going to be raised by power 2. Like 30.4 is going to be raised by power 2. 20 kilometers is going to be raised by power 2. 16 kilometers is going to be raised by power 2. This is the first thing to do. Raise each and every side by power 2. Right. So after that, you highlight the required angle. Let the angle be represented by B. Right. Then you write cos B. You write cos B like this. Of the 3 sides that you have raised by power 2, 2 of them are going to add each other and 1 is going to be subtracted. Which side is going to be subtracted? The side which is opposite to the required angle. If you look at this diagram, you can notice that 30.4 kilometers is opposite to B. Hence, we are going to subtract 30.4 squared. So 20 squared is going to be added with 16 squared so that you less 30.4 squared. I hope you are listening, class. So after doing that, you have to put a 2 that is fixed below the line. Then of the 2 sides that you have raised by power 2 and added, you are going to take 20 without power 2 and 16 without power 2. So this is the layout of cosine rule. Right, so after that, we are now moving on to the next stage. We are going to write cos B, right, is equals to, right? Then you take your calculator and make sure that your calculator is written DEG. Like mine, it is written DEG at the top, right? We want to punch the numerator in the calculator. How do you punch it? So I want you to follow the steps as I use my own calculator. So put it on first, then you punch 20 like this. Then this button written x squared plus, you punch plus 16 x squared minus 30.4 squared equals, it produces minus 268.16. So I'm going to write minus 268.16 as my numerator. I hope you are following, class. We do the same for the denominator. 2 open bracket 20 close bracket open bracket 16 close bracket equals, you produce 640. So I'm going to divide this by 640. I hope you are listening, class. So how do you make B the subject of the formula? To make B the subject of the formula, you have to move cos to the other side, but if you move cos to the other side, you get what we call cos inverse or arccos or cos to the power of minus 1. Then you put minus 268.16 divided by 640 like this. You close your bracket, right? Then How do you punch arc course in your calculator? If you look at this button written course, right, in white, above there is arc course written in orange. It means that to punch arc course, you first of all punch the second function button, then you punch arc course open bracket. Right, so minus, I'm going to use plus or minus. This plus or minus. Then you punch 268,16 divided by 640. You close your bracket. You come out with something like this. Equals. It produces 114,8. So B is equals to 114,8. But what is the instruction of the question? Calculate KBC to the nearest degree. It means that this 8 is going to round 4 by adding 4 with 1. So that your final answer becomes 115 degrees. So this is how you calculate KBC. I hope you are listening, class. So I want you to stay tuned as we move on to part B of the question. Right, we are now moving on to part B of the question. It reads, calculate the area of triangle KBC. So to calculate the area of triangle, we make use of the formula half AB sine theta. Right, so what is A, what is B? Right, let me show you something, class. Right, if you have a triangle like this is a triangle, right? And this is the angle theta, right? A and B, we refer to the sides, right? Which contains the angle in between. I hope you are listening. So, in as much as we are given 3 sides on the triangle, 30,4 kilometers is going to be ignored. Why? Because when it comes to A and B, I'm going to make use of 20 kilometers and 16 kilometers. The reason is 20 and 16 are the sides that enclose the angle 115 in between. I hope you are focusing. Right, so half, right, let me write half, open bracket 20, close bracket, open bracket 16, sine 115. So this is how you do it. So let me teach you how to punch this in your calculator. You put your calculator on as usual, like this. I hope you are listening, class. Right, then you punch 1. Use this button written ABC. Then you punch 2. Your calculator is going to write 1 remainder 2. It is going to write 1 remainder 2 like this. Then you put open bracket 20, close bracket, open bracket 16, close bracket. Then you punch sine 115 equals. You press equals. You get 145. So your answer is 145 square kilometers. Since area is it uses square kilometers. So I'm going to write 145 square kilometers as my final answer. I hope you are listening, class. Right, then we are now moving on to question number 2. It reads, another fishing camp N is on KB produced. Right, so what is KB produced? Right, KB produced is a line. This is KB, right? KB produced is a line. Let me show you it in dotted lines like this. This extension is the what we call KB produced. I hope you are listening, class. So on that dotted line, which is the KB produced, right, lies, right, another fishing camp which is denoted by capital letter N, in such a way that BNC is close to 90 degrees. So it means that if I'm to draw a vertical line from C that line is going to form 90 degree with this KB produced. At that point, we have capital letter N, which is another fishing camp. I hope you are following each and every stage, class. Right. So, what is the requirement of the question? Calculate the distance between C and N. So, what is the distance between C and N? They want you to calculate the distance from C to N. So, let the distance be represented by D. You want to find this distance. Right. So, you can notice that sum of angles in on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees. Right. So, to find this angle inside this triangle CBN, I'm going to deduct 115 from 180. I hope you are listening. So if I deduct 115 from 180, you are going to get 65. So let me put 65 on B. So this is 65, right? So we want to find D. We have two options. Either we use trig ratios or we make use of sine rule, right? So when using trig ratios, you can notice that 16 kilometers is opposite to this 90 degree. Hence, 16 kilometers is referred to as the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. Then the required distance, which is D, is opposite to 65 degrees at B. Hence, D must be represented by the opposite. So using the troubleshooter of trig ratios, which is SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA is the troubleshooter of trig ratios. We would like to identify, remember, this is sine theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. This is cos theta is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse, and this is tan theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So this is the meaning of SOHCAHTOA, or you can make use of CHASHO-TAO depending on what you were taught. I hope you are listening, class. Right. So H and O are the letters that we have on our triangle, and H and O are part of the sine theta formula. Hence, we are going to use trig ratio of sine theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So on theta, I'm going to put 65. You get sine 65, right? Is equals to opposite. Opposite is D. D is the opposite on the diagram, right? Then you divide it by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 16. So I'm going to divide this by 16. After that, you do the process of cross multiplication. 1 times D, you get D. 16 times sine 65, you get 16 sine 65 like this. I hope you are following, class. So let me punch this. 16, right, sine 65, you get 14,5. So our final answer is 14,5 kilometers. So this is how you find the distance between C and N. I hope you are listening, class. So we are now moving on to part B of the question. Right, welcome to part B of the question. It reads, Mrs. Kongolani obtained a seasonal loan of 5 million from a bank, payable over 1.5 years at a rate of 20% per annum. How much did she pay to the bank at the end of 1.5 years? So we make use of the formula interest, right? Interest is equals to principal rate times time all over 200. I hope you are listening, class. Interest refers to the amount that Mrs. Kongolani is going to pay as interest, or as the cost of borrowing, or as the finance cost. I hope you are listening, class. Right, so P, what is P? P is the principal, which refers to the amount invested or the amount borrowed. And in this case, P is 5 million. So I'm going to write 5 million, right? Then payable over 1.5 years, it means that T is close to 1.5 years. Then rate is 20%, meaning to say that R, we are going to use R as 20. I hope you are listening. So let us do the substitution. I is equals to 5 million. Let me put the 5 million in brackets. Open bracket, the rate is 20 and the time is 1.5. Then I'm going to divide everything by 100. I hope you are listening, class. So 5 million times 20 times 1.5 divided by 100, you get 1.5 million as your interest. So interest is close to 1.5 million. I hope you are listening, class. But this is not your final answer. Why? Because the question is requiring you to calculate how much did she pay to the bank at the end of 1.5 years. So the amount she is going to pay to the bank at the end of the period is interest plus principal. So the principal was 5 million to be added with interest of 1.5 million, so that you obtain 6.5 million kwacha. So 6.5 million kwacha is the amount that Mrs. Kongolani is going to pay back to the bank. I hope you are focusing, class.